News now, domestic violence cases have been on the rise in the Houston area during this pandemic. And tonight, as part of our Stronger Houston initiative, we're putting the spotlight on efforts to stop that dangerous trend.
The abuse is being found too often in communities of color. And you're about to meet a woman on a mission targeting 3 Houston communities that have seen some of the sharpest rises of domestic violence.
Robert Arnold is live tonight in Northwest Houston with this exclusive. Robert?
The Empowered Survivor is reaching into 3 of Houston's largest neighborhoods. This began as a pilot project in May with 35 survivors of domestic violence. 3 months later, now nearly 300 people are getting help from this organization.
Physical abuse started back in May. I have 3 children by my abuser.
It gets very, very volatile. It gets volatile to a non-stopping point.
These are the voices Carvana Cloud wants to reach.
What we've always known is that minorities are disproportionately impacted by domestic violence.
Cloud is the former head of the District Attorney's Special Victims Bureau. She is now the founder and executive director of the Empowered Survivor.
This whole initiative started with me wanting to provide services to women of color specifically.
According to a study by the Institute for Women's Policy Research, more than 40% of Black women experience physical violence by an intimate partner compared to 31% of all women. And Cloud says for many of these survivors, help is not so easily obtained.
I understand that people don't have access to transportation or they don't feel comfortable leaving their communities.
Cloud also says a historical distrust of police prevents some in the minority community from seeking help.
Most of the people didn't even know that help existed or how to get the help outside of the police agencies.
This is why Cloud is focusing her efforts in 3 areas: Acres Homes, Inwood, and Greenspoint.
Set up at churches, resource tables, and fairs. We go to the different stores, and like the Family Dollar store, the Dollar General.
These areas average 41% African American and 48% Latino populations. These are also neighborhoods where between 26 and 46% of households earn less than $25,000 a year.
A lot of the folks that we're helping right now are below the poverty level, and they can't really pull themselves up alone.
And abusers use financial instability to keep their partners trapped.
The abusers use their power kind of like when animals hunt. You know, a cheetah doesn't hunt another cheetah. It hunts something weaker than them.
After 5 years of abuse, this woman finally broke free. Cloud's organization found a safe place for her and her 4 children to live and helped her get a protective order.
From a sandal to a burger, she's going to get it done.
We heard a similar story from this woman.
I was actually shot at 7 times.
Who fled to Houston from New Orleans with her sons.
Providing us with food, shelter, clothing.
And Kobe Brandon, who escaped a 10-year abusive relationship. He says Cloud helped get him a job and brought stability to his life.
I can't do that without having a foundation. I have nowhere to lay my head. And she was able to give me, an immediate house.
Cloud's organization works to rebuild lives, helping survivors access legal services, food, clothing, housing, mental health, jobs, and education.
Education is the great equalizer, and we know that when people don't have education, they cannot get really good paying jobs that allow them to take care of their family.
Cloud says she grew up in the Acres Homes area and experienced domestic violence as a child. She says she uses that experience to gain the trust of those who need help and to let them know a better life is possible. Reporting live from Northwest Houston, Robert Arnold, KPRC, Channel 2 News.